Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Here I am again outside in the cold. um, just wanted to make another video for you guys, and we're gonna be talking about stakes. Stakes are very important for your signs. This is basically what you put into the ground to display your signs. There are a lot of different ones that you can get to make your signs, and we're going to talk about a number of these types of stakes. You could start with these if you have these in your inventory. You can start with them. So I am going to start right now. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I believe 7 different types of stakes that we're going to discuss today. And we're gonna start with my personal favorites, and then the last one is going to be the one that you should never get. You know, I got them and I never used them, so never get them. So stick around until the end of the video so that I can show you guys the last stakes that you should never get for your signs. So let's start. These are just call them long stakes. I get them from Victory Store, which is one of the vendors for all of your supplies for your signs. These are the ones that I use the most. They're very flexible in a way that you can use this long part of the stake, or you can use the short part of the stake. And this curve right here is what stops the stake for going into the sign. So for example, I have this eye right here. So if you're using the short part, you just put it into one of the holes in the letter, and this little curve will stop the stake from going all the way in. So these are my favorites because it's flexible. You can put them in any holes in the sign, you know. And I usually use 2. I use 2 of them for one letter. And then boom, and then you put it into the ground. So this should be for the happy birthday part of your sign. So it's gonna be taller, the taller part of your sign. So this is the first one, long stakes from Victory Store. My second favorite that I use the most are short stakes. They're like the long stakes, but they're shorter. They do have a shorter part and a longer part. That's what I mean flexible with these stakes, because you can use the long part if you want. Most of the time I use the short part into the sign, into the letter, and then this goes into the ground. Or you can use this part of the stake, and you can go into the ground, but it's going to be a little harder for the whole length of the stake to go into the ground. So that's why I use the shorter part. So when you put the shorter part, you won't see any stakes showing, you know, in the sign. So these are my second favorite, the one that I use the most for my signs. You can also get them from Victory Store. And yeah, let's move on to the third type of stakes that I use. 10 by 30s. You can get these from Yard Card Supply. If you do have a list, I do have a video where I give you guys a list of all the vendors that I use for my signs and my stake. So all the vendors that we're gonna, you know, talk about today are also in that list in the video, except for Amazon, because you can also get these from Amazon. So let's say yardcardsupply.com, which is another vendor that I use. If they sold out, you can go on Amazon and get these. They're most likely gonna be a lot more money to get from Amazon, but if you need them like right away, Prime, you know, and you have Prime, that's also a plus anyways. So I use these are taller than the long stakes. The 10 by 30 is definitely taller. But the reason why I don't really like using them is because of this. See how it cannot get, if you have a narrow letter like the I, you can't really use the 10 by 30 because it won't go. It's too wide. So you won't be able to use the 10 by 30. So instead of using the 10 by 30, you can actually, there's another option, which is this. This, I also get it from Victory Store. This is the same length as 10 by 30, but it's, you know, the width is smaller. It's a smaller width, and you can actually put it into a narrow letter like the I right there, so it fits. And I still don't like using these because it's a lot to, I do struggle with them, putting them in the letters sometimes. You might not struggle, but I do. So that's why I like using, see, I struggle to even take it out. Oh my gosh. Fudge. Okay, got it. So that's why I like using these instead, because it's just so easy for me to just put one, boom, and then the second one, boom. And you can put it here, you can put it in another hole, you can put it even wider hole. So it's so flexible to use these. These are my favorite. I'm biased, but you might find your favorite, your personal favorite. All right, so we went over long steaks, short steaks, 10 by 30, and the smaller version of a 10 by 30, which won't be 10 by 30. The length, I believe, is 30 inches. And the width is 10 inches. So all right, let's move on to the next one. The next one is a heavy duty steak. You would need your heavy duty steaks for weather purposes. So if it's really windy, you see how it's thicker than the other steaks. It's thicker because it's stronger that way. So if it's windy, this is easier to bend, and if on the floor with the letter on it, it's easier for it to go like this with the wind, and your sign might fall. But with the heavy duty, since it's really thicker and it's stronger, it's harder for it, it's less likely for the sign to fall because, you know, it's thicker. It's a heavy duty sign for whenever the weather calls. All right, and now we're moving on to this one. I don't know what it's called, but it's a short steaks, kind of like the same as, you know, my favorite short steak. We can use that if we ran out of these. So I have all of them just in case, but I don't prefer them. I just use them just in case of emergency, if I really need a steak and I don't have any short ones. So you can get these also, but it's always, you know, the thing with the, you know, just me and putting these steaks into the letters, it's kind of hard for me to do. All right, let's move on to, I believe, the 5th or 6th or 7, well, either way, these are called layering pins. You can get these from not Victory Store. You can get these for you can get these from yardsignsupply.com. These, the purpose of these are for layering your, you know, your signs. So to give it a little bit more depth, for extra decoration. So for example, let's say you want to put a TH on top of a letter, or on top of a number, because that's where you would put it. So you put this side, any side, honestly, and then you can put it on top of the letter. So that way it gives it a little depth, a little bit more of cutesy, you know what I mean? So that's what the purpose of a layering pin. You can also use it to put graphics on top of letters, you know, just to be creative with your signs and stuff. So these are the purpose of the layering pin. All right, so now here is the stake that I would never recommend you to buy. I bought them and I never used them, and there's a reason for that. These is just a straight piece of metal, and I don't use them because why? Because of this. And it can go on and on and on into your sign, and it's hard to get out. So the problem with this is when you put it in here, since it doesn't have anything to stop it, if you're putting it to the ground, because you're putting it to the ground and the resistance of the ground against the stake, and you're pushing it and all that other stuff, there's nothing to stop it, so it goes into your sign even more, and there's nothing left, you know, for you to put into the ground, basically, because the ground is actually pushing the stake into the letter. So it's useless. So basically, these, don't get them, right? All right, so I guess this was it, guys. The type of steak, it's cold, my goodness. The type of steaks that you can get all of these, or for me personally, the most important ones that if to start for you to get would be the long sticks and these short sticks. So if you don't want to get everything else, these are essentials for me. Some people get the 10x30s and the short sticks, but that's also fine. But me, it's always that for me. And if you do get the 10x30, there's a way that you can actually make them fit a shorter letter. It's never really my favorite to do, but people do it, and it's by actually bending this part of the stake. I don't like doing it because it's like it's too much. It's like a mess to to do all of that. It's just too much. So if you bend it like that, you, as you can see, it's narrower, and then you can actually put it into your letter. It's just you can actually put it into your letter. And also for carrying purposes, you know, it's like too much to carry all this, so it's better to get basically the long sticks for your signs instead of getting this. So, and also you have to bend it back and all that other stuff. So all right, guys, this was the purpose of this video, and that's what I wanted to talk about. The sticks, like I said, you can just start with the long sticks and the short sticks and you'll be set. So hopefully this was informative for you. My neighbor is calling me. Informative for you guys. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Any questions, any comments, don't forget to leave the comments in the video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.